Welcome to another game of Age of Empires 2, and in the red we have someone who we haven't seen for a while. We have Alclan Chris, and this is actually a really old game. Just before we get into it, thought I'd let you know that he hasn't been playing so much recently, and well, I got a request to put one of his games up, so let's do it. And of course he's going to be playing as the Mines, as he started off with 4 villagers, if you didn't notice, and the Eagle Warrior, which is over here. His opponent is going to be a UR Rook, who is playing in the yellow, and is a Huns, so nothing really above difference there from standard. The Civ matchup as well, kinda hard to say. Huns not needing houses, Mines having longer lasting resources, kinda balances out a bit. Only thing that's really going to get in the way though is if it goes to late Imperial, UR Rook's going to be able to have Paladins out, and Chris isn't going to have a lot to do with that if he's starting to mass plumed archers, so that could go really badly, so he's probably not going to go for plumes. Eagle Warriors will probably be the most likely way, but again, they still get cut down by Paladins reasonably. Like, Eagle Warriors don't get absolutely destroyed by them, but it's hard to explain, really. It's just not the biggest thing in the world, so I'm interested to see where this game actually goes, and if we actually see cavalry archers from Rook and just a counter to that from Chris by going to Imperial, spamming out some elite Eagle Warriors with all those armor upgrades, or if we see plumed archers from Chris and UR Rook go for some kind of knight combo, something like that. So it's going to be really interesting to watch this game develop as we go. So don't think there's anything else really to talk about. Right now, the lumber camp is going up. Chris finding his other boar around there. Nothing too ridiculous. Both boar already in for a Rook. He's got his lumber camp up. Looks like he might... Yes, he's going for a wall off here, so we could even see a fast castle if he decides to go for that. Chris as well might actually scout this wall off, so that could be good. As we do know, an Eagle Warrior can 1v1 a villager and kill it, which is really helpful. Don't think there's a lot else to do. No, 3 farms going down for a Rook now, so it looks like we could see scouts from him potentially. Not putting a lot of villagers on wood actually, so we could see him go for that. But then again, it also points towards the fast castle routine, so we could see either from him right now. And this game was a long time ago, and fast castling still was... I think when this game was around, fast castling was still quite normal. Haven't seen him go for gold yet though, and that means that he's probably not going to be, because you do need that 200 gold to up in time. And what are we seeing over here from Chris? Is he going up? But saying that, Chris is on 25 population right now, and he's not advancing yet, and only advancing now on 26 population. Rook is already halfway there on 23 population, so this could turn into something interesting quite quickly, and actually walling himself completely in there, finishing that off with the barracks, so we might actually see the fast castle from him. If he puts down a market and a blacksmith as soon as he ups, we know it's going to be a fast castle. No, he's deleting this here, and stable is going down, so he is going for those scouts, which we were kind of expecting, I guess. It was either going to be that or the fast castle, but he had no one on gold, so we weren't going to see the fast castle there. Both upgrades, of course, being done straight away, and Chris is actually going to be in a little bit of trouble here, because he's a bit behind on his feudal time, only going up at 1132, which means that he's going to really not have a lot of spears or anything out to deal with this. I don't even know if he's actually scouted this. Has he scouted it? No, yes, he does know there's a stable up, so that's good for him. It means he's going to be able to get some spears out, or not. Market blacksmith, and we should see the advance quite soon. 700, 800, there we go. So going up at 13 minutes to the castle edge, but these scouts might be able to do a lot of damage, which is something we're going to have to be really careful of. But saying that, I don't think there's actually a lot out on the map. There's 3 and the wall off's pretty much down. Only real damage they're going to do if they can get in here and kind of corner villagers into here, or all the villagers decide to spaz out like they do sometimes. So it's going to be interesting there. Looks like that Eagle Warrior might win just because of the hill bonus there, which proves again just how important that hill bonus is, and watching your units, that's really important too. And it looks like he might lose a villager here, losing 1, might lose a second. No, more barracks actually going down for Chris right now. Interesting if he's going to go for Eagle Warriors or Spears right now, or if he's just going for a bigger wall off. Which is interesting, because he could have put those archer ranges down there, and he could have saved for that, but I think he's got a plan here that we haven't just determined yet. But Eagle Warriors, I think back then, I think it was the clue, which is just spamming Eagle Warriors once you get to Castle Age. I think it's called the clue at any rate. So we could see that, or we could see mass pikemen, or... but at the moment it's looking like a clue. clue, which is an interesting one. Yeah, Eagle Warrior's coming out now, yes, so the clue. Don't have a lot of information on it. Pretty sure Clue was just named after the person who came up with it, just like the Premium or Palisade Rush. So there's a few interesting things there. So not really a lot else to say until we get these out. Is our friend Rook on the way up? No, he is not yet. Looks like he's going down with that blacksmith now. He's going to be a bit behind, but I don't think he's going to have too much trouble here. Might be able to hold off these Eagle Warriors for a bit. They do have their first armor upgrade already. Let's actually check on what Chris is doing here. Nope, still in the first armor upgrade, because of course Eagle Warriors costing in at 20 food and 50 gold. So they can do quite a bit of damage for their cost. They are really gold expensive though for a unit what they are. So it's always good to get those upgrades onto it to make sure they do as much damage as possible. So let's just speed it up while they run out across the map. And we're about to see something. This isn't really done a lot anymore, actually, because Eagle Warriors in the Castle Age, they only have 2+2 armor, and they don't exactly have the most attack in the world, and they can get shut down really easily. So at the moment in time play, what I'm saying, I think this game was played like 6 years ago, something like that. But now it's really, you need that extra armor and defense on them, because there's a lot more town centers up now, there's a lot more defenses up, and the wall-offs are so much better. Just the villager control is amazing, so you can't get away with as much as you used to be able to then. So that's something interesting there. This bit of wall here will have to be repaired sometime soon. We've actually got these Eagle Warriors actually going nuts on the buildings around here. Could see a lot of damage here actually if these Eagle Warriors get in, because 2+1 armor is still quite a bit, especially if you can get up here and start picking off these units. Knights are going to be on the way by the looks of it. And I did say cavalry archers actually, but I don't think they'd really started being massing for... Until Master of the Huns really, they weren't really massed, I believe. That's from my memory. Could be wrong there. Of course, if I'm wrong, point it out in the comments. But I do believe that Master of Huns was when cavalry archers started to become really popular. Up until then, it was pretty much all knights. And it looks like he's actually going to be going out now and trying to actually raid the economy, which is going to actually be quite an interesting one, because if Chris has nothing at home to defend, because all of his units are being thrown across the map, it's going to be kind of hard for him to deal with it. He does have the 2 town centers up though, and his base is really small, compact, and walled in really well, so he should be able to defend with relative ease. He's got 3 knights here now. They do have the +1 armor and attack. Eagle Warrior is still only having that +1 armor, no big deal. But it looks like the knights are going to be moving out across the map now, or not. Waiting for that 4th one. He's going to go for more. He's going to try and take on these guys. Yes, he will be taking on the Eagle Warriors over here. Elite Eagle Warriors, I do believe, gain a small bonus against Knights. Eagle Warriors, I don't think, get any bonus against Knights. If we just do some maths, that looks right. Sounds right at any rate. And losing quite a few Eagle Warriors here. You've got to remember, they're 50 gold a hit, which is not a cheap unit. Rook, what are we looking at? Rook taking the score lead now. The scores are going to be very close now. And whether or not, let's see if Chris is going for some kind of spearman. Eagle Warrior, Eagle Warrior, Eagle Warrior. Nope, still going for Eagle Warriors. A monastery is going down though, so he is going to be trying to get some converts on these knights. And these Eagle Warriors here, they should be able to hold it off if he garrisons his town centers, which is something you really don't want to do. But if it calls for it, if it comes between that and losing the game, of course you're going to do it. I'm surprised we haven't seen any pikes mixed in here, just because they do so much considerable damage against knights for what they are. And it could just be a great way just to push him back, because of course you really don't want to engage with pikemen with knights. It's just not cost effective. Monks, of course, going to be an even better solution though if you manage to get a few converts, because of course that's not only taking it away from your opponent, but that's gaining a knight for yourself. And here comes the push by the looks of it. Eagle Warriors are being able to hold this one. It looks like one monk will be out in time. Don't know about the second one. And I don't know if these Eagle Warriors will actually be able to hold here. Garrisoning that town center, so it should be alright. Monk as well, should get one. Maybe? Nope. Looks like that monk's going to be killed off. The Eagle Warriors over here. Looks like... Oh, nope, he did get one convert. That's good. I would say that's cost effective. 75 food. Not food, 75 gold for that convert, and a monk only costed him 100. Then you've got the food cost as well of the knight. Works out, I think. And it looks like we're going to see Rook is actually going to have to push back across the map to his base now, because there's not really a lot he can do. This town center will be going out for Chris as well, so it looks like he's going to be going for kind of a big boom. But Rook only still sitting on 2 town centers, so nothing ridiculous happening at the moment. And it looks like we're going to see a bit of a boom war here, and Chris will be able to win this just because he has that extra town center. But Rooks looks like he's having a higher population right now because he does have quite a score advantage, but it could come from all the Eagle Warriors he's killed and the units he killed inside Chris's base here. Rook currently on 69 population and Chris on 70, so it looks like it's actually dead even right now. But as we know, Eagle Warriors aren't as... well, they don't cost as much as Knights, so... that's going to be an interesting one. And like I said, I haven't watched this game yet. I don't usually watch games before they cast them. I usually just take people's word for it. And it's really starting to look like Rook's going to have a massive advantage here. If he charges in with all these knights, I don't know what Chris is actually going to be able to do about it. He's going to be able to garrison his town center, but I don't think he's going to be able to defend against this. Unless he's got some more upgrades on the way. Nope. Doesn't want to get any upgrades. So this could actually be really hard to deal with. This town center over here could definitely be taken down. These Eagle Warriors here could be killed off. It's really going to come down to where he engages and how he engages. And Siege Workshop. It looks like that's going to be stalled. Yes, it is. And here we go. We're seeing the engagement. Quite a few Eagle Warriors about. There's a lot of monks here actually now. These converts might actually make the fight for him. He's got 4 knights there now. And the healing as well is really going to help. But the Eagle Warriors are slowly getting cut down. But the Knights, it looks like their numbers have been really thinned out. Those conversions are going to be really helpful. But again, there's still a lot of them here. So it's going to be a hard thing to try and deal with. These town centers, of course, are going to push them back. But again, it's going to be a kind of hard one for Chris to try and deal with. Especially with the Rook up so high now in the game. And just watching this, going for pikes. If he goes for pikes here, he could... Pikeman is being done, and we are seeing Spearmen get done as well. So it looks like Chris could turn this one around if he decides to start to get some more damage in there. Of course, he does have the Forging upgrade, which means they do have... I think Forging's the second one, actually. I can't remember exactly. But either way, he does have the +1 attack and the +1 defense. He is moving in now with the Pikeman and a few of the Knights he has. Not garrisoning his town center here, actually, so this could really potentially hurt. More Knights are on the way right now for Rook. He is putting up another town center there as well, so he will be going up to 3. And he's stalled Chris quite a bit at the moment, so this could actually go really badly for Chris at the moment. His Pikemen are cleaning it up, though, but it is taking some time, and Rook's managed to get a massive 700-point lead at the moment, which is actually going to make it really hard to come back. He's going to actually... It's going to have to go for some kind of massive boom, or he's going to have to kill off this entire army and do a really good big push. Speed things up again, because we're not exactly seeing a lot right now. Just Chris trying to defend from this massive knight push. And it proves just how, well, good knights are at just being an all-round attack units, and how well they just soak up town center damage. So they do have that 2+2 advantage on the armor now. But Pikemen, of course, going to be able to push them back quite quickly. And garrisoning that town center again. They do soak up damage, but of course they do get killed off eventually. Wall off here actually quite quick by Chris, very well done. And I've got quite a few more pikes actually out in play right now. These ones actually running all the way up to his opponent, which is interesting because they would get killed off there quite quickly. But again, it wouldn't be exactly the most cost-effective type of fight. This knight here, it looks like he's going to be able to deal with this. That knight turns around, should be able to kill both of these off. Yes, and there we go. Chris has managed to defend against the massive knight push, which is something interesting. The only problem is now he's 900 points behind. So it's going to be an interesting one to see how he can catch up. I can see mass monks working as with pikemen. That could be a really strong tactic if he manages to get... Because look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 monks here, with more on the way. That's 7 knight conversions, and that's 7 knights fighting for him and 7 knights less for his opponent. So it's definitely doable if he decides to do this. And we're seeing Eagle Warriors as well. So I guess a Knight Eagle Warrior combination would be quite good. But again, the Knights for Rook right now, they're starting to get a lot of them. The market is going down as well. Rook, let's check his population. 126 with Chris on 88. I'm actually hoping Chris can take this one back now, because if it does, it's going to be a great comeback. And 900 points difference. But of course... Ooh, and actually missing some there. Looks like he's trying to go Imperial. Yes, he is going Imp, which is an interesting one. Could be going for that Elite Eagle Warrior, which looks like it's going to be, or it could be going for Halberdiers. I do believe that mines get Halberdiers from memory. Aztecs only get Pikes, but we'll see, I'm sure. See how good my memory is. And Imperial Age for him. Is Rook going up? That's a good question, actually. Rook is not going up, and there's actually a lot of Knights in here now. Chris is going to have trouble dealing with this one, but he's in a really good position to get some conversions, actually. And let's actually just swap over to Chris's point of view so we can actually count the amount of converts he's getting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there. So that's a good amount of converts to have. And these town centers, of course, should be able to string this down. But again, Rook's getting ahead even more in his economy right now. So we'll stay. It's starting to look really bad for Chris now, actually. Monks are out there still trying to get some conversions here. Only 4 left in play, and these units here will be forced to garrison quite soon, or they will be killed off. And I don't think Chris... This is going to be an interesting one, see if Chris can hold this. That pikeman there, of course, is going to get surrounded and killed off. It looks like this knight here might take a bit of damage, but nothing too big. Looks like these guys over here will be killed off again. So this is starting to look really, really bad for Chris. Maybe if had a higher monk amount, a few more pikes mixed in there, could have dealt with it, but again, it's a really hard thing to try and deal with mass knights. You've got to have a lot of pikes out prepared for it. It's really hard to try and counter. Anybody who's encountered this amount of knights in this situation will be able to tell you that. And again, pikes are just getting killed off really quickly here, because as we know, knights do quite well when pikes are... When there's 1 pike and 3 knights, you know how it's going to end. It's just one of those things. Chris going Imperial now, only 800, well, 1,800 points behind. Interested to see what he tries to do with it though, because I don't think there's a lot he's going to be able to. Halberdier is being done. Eagle Warrior is still being done. It looks like he's got quite a few villages, but he's still stuck on 66 population. You are Rook on 149 right now, so you are Rook definitely a good player out there at the moment. Continuing to watch this come out, we might actually speed it up here, because I don't think there's a lot he's really going to be able to do about it. Pikeman being ejected there might have waited for Halberdier, that could have helped, but don't exactly know. Swapping back over to Chris to see what he's doing. Monks garrisoning back in there. It looks like this is going to be GG, guys. I can't exactly see this going anywhere. Chris might have to tap out of this one. Too many knights, just not enough to deal with them either. He's running really low on resources, and I don't think there's going to be a lot else he's going to be able to do, actually. Unless there's something I'm missing. Not really, there's a few farms over there. Of course, he's still gathering wood back here, so he is still being able to produce halberdiers, but still, you are a Rook. He's not going up to the Imperial Age, actually, so Chris can hold it off, maybe. But, again, the chances of him holding it off are really over. Saying that, he's got a lot of pikes there, actually, now. And halberdiers, actually. I don't know whether these ones here are actually stuck or not. Looks like they could be stuck. But it looks like he's cleaning it up. He is slowly but surely cleaning this one up. I can't believe he's held this. Well, holding would be the key word. He's still got a bit more to go. He's got a lot more knights to clean up yet, but still, he has quite a nice amount of pikes out. And he's still being able to produce more, so he is... And he's pushed his opponent back. That's impressive. That is extremely impressive. Losing quite a few villages over here. Monks still getting some conversions out. Creating more monks as well. But still, he is down by so much right now. It's going to take a lot to manage to keep up with this one. 3 town centers up for Rook. And if he pulls this off, it will be amazing. More knights over here. These villagers still not being put back to work. And it looks like he's actually chasing them out across the map right now, so speeding things along again, because we want to see how this ends. Speeding things along, what's the plan from these barracks? We are seeing a few more Eagle Warriors be made, we are seeing these guys here. The thing Chris has really got going for him now is that he's Imperial and his opponent isn't. So he's going to be able to use that tech advantage, hopefully, to be able to take this one. Getting another conversion there, so he's actually starting to get quite a strong army here, especially if his opponent keeps going knights. He has started to transition into cavalry archers, though, and that's going to be really tough to try and deal with if he's only got halberdiers, but he's got these knights that have been converted as well, which should really help him out, as well as the fact he's going for Eagle Warriors. Should make it a little bit easier, but again, his economy is really bad right now, just because it's been hurt so much. So it's going to be an interesting one to see if he can actually try and deal with it. We are seeing a semi-forward siege workshop and archery range for a Rook going down now. And these knights are going to have a little bit of trouble right now, unless they can get in and do some really devastating damage. Over here, though, it definitely looks like they would be able to, because the wall off is finished, and here he could kill a lot of units, and I don't think he's actually scouted it. No, he hasn't, but Well, there's a will, there's a way, and I'm sure he can find a way. He has got a lot of monks out, but they can be killed off really easily. Block printing actually on the way right now. 45 hit points on those monks, so not the best, not the worst. And these knights here are going to have to really get out of there quickly. Oh, don't just leave them, Chris. Yes, get them out. He's going to lose one, maybe a second, yes, third. Looks like these knights are just caught and they're just going to get killed off. That's a really bad waste there, sadly. But we'll see how we go here. We could see a big push from Chris, and he could win it somehow. Currently, 2,800 points between them. Doesn't sound really good, and this might actually be the final push from Rook here, which is interesting. Because if this one's held off again, it's going to prove he's done really well. And if you get some converts here, it'd be really good, actually. If you get 7 converts... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Might have got 6 there. Might have got 6 converts here, and he might just hold it again. If he manages to just hold it again, he's going to be slowly catching up. But these cavalry archers, they aren't being microed actually. So the halberdiers will be able to do a lot of damage, but I think this might be it actually. Nope, not getting enough conversions there, and these extra cavalry archers marching in. I don't think he's going to be able to hold this one off, and this could be GG when this army pushes in. I don't think he's going to be able to hold again. The first time he did so well to hold, but the second time, it looks like this army here is just going to be a little bit overpowering. Unless we see some massive mistakes from Rook, and just some genius designs from Chris, could be in a lot of trouble. More monks on the production right now. Could even be worth putting down another monastery, because he's getting so many. Battering rams are out and in play, and let's watch the march of the army, of course. Pushing up around here, and actually see some light cavalry there as well. Barracks is down, and here we go. Chris, what are you going to do? What's the plan? What is the plan, Chris? A few halberdiers there might be able to take out these rams before anything happens. But again, going to be a hard one to try and deal with. Light cavalry, of course, as we know, just run anything to your opponent's base, and it can do so much hectic damage. And these halberdiers here could actually end into some trouble with these cavalry archers. And it looks like they're getting in close here, so they might be able to just do some damage again. Especially under the TC here, they're going to be able to hold it off. And there's still quite a few about. Light cavalry running in again, though. Of course, having 2+2 armor, making them extremely resistant to town center fire. And it looks like this town center here will fall. Yes, it will. Over here. Looks like we're going to see the battering rams push again. And battering rams. Looks like the halberdiers are actually holding it off over here, but again, the light cavalry over here is just running such a muck right now. Not a lot you can do about it when they are out. And I'm really impressed, actually, that Rook's still in it, and he hasn't even decided to go to Imperial. He just doesn't have the gold to do it. If he sold resources, he could get there fine. But until then, he's just relying on light cavalry, knights, and cavalry archer. He doesn't have the tech advantage at all, which is the reason Chris has been in the game, I reckon, so far. It's just because he's got that tech advantage. And halberdiers, as we know, absolutely shred light cavalry. And it looks like, again, he's managed to hold it. But for how long is the question? Rook is currently up by 2,700 points, 800 actually. So it's an interesting one to try and watch, and we are actually seeing a forward castle go down for him, and this could actually spell GG for Chris if he goes, well, if he can't hold this castle push, which, extra monastery is down. Chris, what are you going for here? He's got a lot of monks on the way. I don't know how many he has actually on the field right now. I don't think he has many at all. He's actually got 4 on the field, but his opponent's starting to switch into light cavalry and cavalry archer army, which again, monks aren't so good against light cavalry as we know, and cavalry archers as well kill off monks really quickly. Especially because they close in, and that range damage they do is just so hard to try and deal with. And I'm really looking around to see if I can find a lifeline for Chris. He does have this town center over here. He does have this little crop farming over here. Apart from that, though, there's not really a lot he's got going on for him. And I'm surprised he's stayed in the game so long and been able to hold out in the game. 3,000 points a difference now, so could be seeing the end of this game any minute now, actually. Another siege workshop up on the front line. Another battering ram moving in from this side. So this could be it. But I've said that a few times this game, and Chris has managed to hold all of them. Looks like the halberdiers will be moving in here. I don't know if these cavalry archers are going to let them close in. Nah. Not working over there, not working over here. And there's the GG from Chris. Rook is taking it with a massive knight push. Very well played by him. We did focus on Chris X. I thought Chris was doing the amazing defending there. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the game. It's something a little bit different. We don't generally focus on the defensive point of view. So something just to mix it up a bit. So I hope you enjoyed the game.